Good morning, everyone. In this lecture, I am going to discuss about time response for a second order system. In the last lecture, in the last video, we discussed about a time response for a first order system with different test signals. What are the different test signals we are having? That is a step signal, ramp signal, parabola, and impulse signal we discussed. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about time response for time response for a second order system. For a second order system. Already we know that how we are going to define an order of the system, right? How we are defining an order of the system, whether it is a first order or second order or third order, how we are going to know that thing is nothing but that will be always depends upon the transfer function of any given system. If the transfer function, how we are going to define an order of the system is nothing but it is defined as it is defined as it is defined as the highest power highest power of s in the denominator in the highest power of s in the denominator of the transfer function that means whenever we are finding the transfer function definition we know that it is a Laplace transform of output of the system to the Laplace transform of input of the system at initial conditions are 0. Then whenever we are finding a transfer function, for example, if I am getting a transfer function like this, that means the transfer function is nothing but C of s by R of s, which we call it as a transfer function here. That is 1 divided by st plus 1. Here, the highest power, the power of s, in this case, the power of s is 1. In this case, the power of s is 1. That means an s power 1. So, we call it as this is a first order transfer function. This is a first order transfer function. First order transfer function. In the last class, we discussed about what will be happen 1 by st plus 1. This is a first order transfer function. C of s by R of s is equal to 1 by st plus 1. Here, what will be happen for different inputs? For different inputs is nothing but C of s is nothing but our controlled output and R of s is our reference input. For different inputs, that means the response is nothing but what is in here. The term indicates that is a response. Response is nothing but output of the system. C of s is equal to R of s into 1 by st plus 1. That means R of s is nothing but what? Reference input. That reference input also will be going to be varies with different types of test signals. Whether we are giving a step signal or ramp signal or parabolic signal or impulse signal. For example, if I am giving a yield step, then what we are going to multiply here with 1 by s. We are going to multiply here with 1 by s into 1 by st plus 1. 1 by st plus 1. For example, if I am giving this is for step signal. For example, if I am giving a ramp, then what about the value? This will become 1 by s square into 1 by st plus 1. For example, if I am giving an impulse signal means the input response is 1 into 1 by st plus 1. If I am giving step ramp impulse, after that we are having a parabolic signal. If I am giving a parabolic signal, then what is the response? 1 by s cube into 1 by st plus 1. Like that it will be going to be a varies. Right? How we are going to compute this thing is nothing but by applying partial fractions, and then we are going to apply the inverse Laplace transform. Then finally we are going to get all these things. 1 by s cube into 1 by st plus 1 like that. After once if you are applying the partial fractions, Then after applying the partial fractions, we are going to apply the inverse Laplace transform. Now in this case, I am going to discuss here with second order system transfer function. What about the second order system? Let us consider the second order system will be like this. Here I am going to consider R of S. I am going to consider negative feedback. Second order system is K into S into St plus 1. Why? Because the highest power in the denominator of the transfer function must be 2. So after that I am going to take it as a unity feedback system. So here I am going to get C of S. Here what we are going to get E of S, error signal. In this case, what is the G of S value? G of S is equal to K divided by S into St plus 1, and H of S value is equal to 1. And which feedback? Negative feedback system. Negative feedback system. In general, whenever this is a block diagram, whenever we are having a block diagram like this, then how we are going to find the transfer function? That means you know that C of S by R of S is equal to G divided by 1 plus GH. If it is a negative feedback. If it is a negative feedback. Now similarly, what will be happen? G of S, C of S by R of S is equal to K divided by S into St plus 1 whole divided by 1 plus G of S into H of S. G of S place, in that place we are having a K divided by S into St plus 1 into H of S value is 1. Now if I am simplifying this thing, we are going to get K divided by S into St plus 1 whole divided by S into St plus 1 plus K divided by S into St plus 1. Here these two values will be going to cancel. That means these two values will be going to cancel. The denominator values, both the values will be going to cancel. Now finally what we are going to get? C of S by R of S, we are going to get like this. K divided by S into St plus 1 plus K. So we are going to get like this. K S square into T plus S plus K. This is C of S by R of S value. Now if I am taking a T common here, then we are having an S square S by T plus K by T. So finally the second order transfer function for the considered values of G of S and H of S values, we are going to get K divided by T whole divided by S square plus S by T plus K by T. This is a second order transfer function. We are getting a second order transfer function. Now we are going to compare that second order transfer function. We are getting C of S by R of S is equal to C of S by R of S is equal to, we got K by T whole divided by S square plus S by T plus K by T. This is second order transfer function. This equation can be written as, this equation we can be written as C of S by C of s by R of s is equal to omega n square whole divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. Whenever we are telling that the second order transfer equation, this equation we are going to return and we are going to compare this with this equation. That means you take it as this is 1 and this is 2. The C of s by R of s, and this equation can be written as C of s by R of s is equal to omega n square by s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. From this we can compare omega n square, where omega n we call it as a natural frequency. I am going to write here omega n we call it as a natural frequency, and zeta we call it as damping ratio. Zeta we call it as a damping ratio. The response, that means that the output of the second order system always will be depends upon the value of zeta. That thing we can discuss in this lecture on how we are going to compare. Now I am going to compare omega n square, how much value we are going to get. Omega n square equal to k by t, and from that we are going to get omega n equal to square root of k by t. Similarly, if I am comparing s coefficient 2 zeta omega n is equal to, we are going to get 1 by t. From that zeta is equal to 1 by 2 omega n. That is a damping frequency we are going to get, damping ratio we are going to get. This is the value of omega n, which we call it as a natural frequency, and zeta we call it as this is our damping ratio. The output of the system, that is the time response of a second order system, always will be depends upon the value of zeta. That means if the value of zeta will be going to be an varies, automatically the system response also will be going to be an varies. Now how we are going to define a damping ratio? The damping ratio, how we are going to define is nothing but it is the ratio of actual damping to critical damping. We call it as a damping ratio. The important thing is the basic transfer function for second order system. We need to keep in our mind, that is C of s by R of s is equal to omega n square by s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. Right. Here the time response is nothing but I already told, that is an output of an response is nothing but output. Excitation, whatever we are going to give an excitation, we call it as an response. Here response is nothing but output of the system. How it will be output of the system means, what is the output here? C of s. C of s, we are going to find out the value of C of t, time response. We are discussing about here time response. My intention is that to find the time response C of t for a second order system for different step signals, like as an for same like as a first order system also. For first order system, what we are given? Ramp signal we given, parabolic signal, step signal, and impulse signal. For these, like this, we are going to discuss. Now, we are the reason that response we are going to find out. Before going to that response of that particular system, the response of a second order system always will be depends upon the value of zeta. Always will be depends upon the value of zeta. That means we are going to divide that second order system into different types depending upon the values of zeta. That means when zeta equal to 0, we call it as an undamped system. When zeta equal to 0, we call it as an undamped system. When zeta equal to 1, we call it as a critically critically damped system, when zeta is greater than 1, over damped system, over damped system. When zeta equal to 0, we call it as an undamped. When zeta equal to 1, critically damped system. And zeta is greater than 1, we call it as an over damped system. One more condition is when zeta is in between, when zeta less than 0, zeta is in between 0 and 1. 0 less than, zeta less than 1, then we call it as an underdamped system. Then we call it as an underdamped system. Underdamped system. Underdamped system. That means the response of the system, second order system, will be varies with respect to the values of zeta value. If the value of zeta will be varies, automatically the output of the system will be going to be varies. That is here when zeta equal to 0 undamped, when zeta equal to 1 critically damped, when zeta is greater than 1 over damped, in between when zeta value is in between 0 less than, zeta less than 1, then we call it as an underdamped system. How this value of zeta will be going to be that means how it will be affects on the transfer function. That means we call it as that is an effect of zeta on the second order transfer function. For that we need to find out the characteristic equation. What is the characteristic equation? Is nothing but 1 plus g of s into h of s, which is equal to 0. That we call it as a characteristic equation. That we call it as a characteristics equation of a given transfer function. Now, what is the characteristic equation here we are having? This is in the denominator for which type negative feedback system. What is the in the denominator we are having g of s by r of s is equal to, we know that g of s divided by 1 plus g of s into h of s. That means 1 plus g of s into h of s means in the place of 1 plus g of s into h of s, we are having an s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square. That we call it as a characteristic equation. Now, how we are going to get when zeta equal to 0, what is the roots of the particular characteristic equation? When zeta equal to 1 and zeta is greater than 1, and when zeta is in between 0 and 1, what will be happen? First, I am going to consider the characteristic equation is s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square equal to 0. This is our characteristic equation. Now, what is the basic roots for this? We know that minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. These are the two roots. That means we consider it as a zeta 1 comma zeta 2. Why? Because this is a second order system. So we are getting two roots. That is zeta 1 and zeta 2. Now, how it will be going to vary is in the place of minus b, we are having a minus 2 zeta omega n plus or minus square root of b square. B square means 4 zeta square omega n square minus 4. A means 1 and c is omega n square whole divided by 2 into a. A means 1. Now, if I am simplifying this thing, we are getting minus 2 zeta omega n plus or minus if I am taking 2 common, 4 common, that means we are getting omega n square also I am going to common. That means here we are having zeta square minus 1 by 2. Here finally we are having minus 2 zeta. Zeta will be going to 1, 2, 2 we can cancel. Minus zeta omega n 2, we are having omega n and zeta square minus 1 by 2 will be going to be cancel. We are going to get minus zeta omega n plus or minus omega n into zeta square minus 1. These are the two roots of zeta 1 and zeta 2. We are having two roots. If I am simplifying just I am substituting in the place of minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. That means b value and a value and c value I am substituting. Finally, if I am doing simplify, then we are getting a minus zeta omega n plus or minus omega n into square root of zeta square minus 1. Now, what will happen when the first case is case 1? When zeta equal to 0. What is when zeta equal to 0? Which type of system is it? That is undamped system. Undamped system. What about the roots of the when zeta equal to 0? What about the zeta 1 and zeta 2 value? Zeta 1 comma zeta 2 equal to, in the place of zeta we need to substitute 0. Then how much value we are going to get? Here this value will be here I am writing. So zeta 1 comma zeta 2 equal to minus zeta omega n plus or minus omega n into square root of zeta square minus 1. Now you substitute zeta equal to 0. If it is zeta equal to 0, this value will becomes to equal to 0. Now what we are having? Zeta 1 comma zeta 2 equal to plus or minus omega n square root of minus 1. Why? Because this is 0. Now zeta 1 comma zeta 2 equal to plus or minus j omega n. In this case, the roots are imaginary. Zeta 1 and zeta 2 are imaginary. Now case 2, when zeta equal to 1. Both the roots are imaginary. Roots are imaginary. Both the roots are imaginary. Minus, that means we are having a plus j omega n comma minus j omega n. Both are completely imaginary. When zeta equal to 1, similarly you need to substitute here zeta 1 comma zeta 2 equal to minus zeta omega n plus or minus omega n square root of zeta square minus 1. Now if I am substituting 1, what we are going to get? Minus omega n plus or minus omega n into 1 minus 1. That is minus omega n plus or minus omega n into 0. That means we are getting at minus omega n zeta 1 comma zeta 2. That means real and same. Both are real and same. Here in this case, real roots we are getting real values, real and same. Real and same. And the third case is what is this case? When zeta equal to 1, we call it as that is a critically damped system. Critically damped system. Now third case is when the roots are that means and third case is that when zeta value is 0 less than in between 0 and 1. When zeta is in between 0 and 1, and this type of system we call it as an underdamped system. Underdamped system. What will happen? The value of zeta is in between 0 and 1. What will happen? Minus actual roots are minus zeta omega n plus or minus omega n into square root of zeta square minus 1. Actually, these are the roots. If the value of zeta is in between 0 and 1, what will happen? 0 and 1 means, it means this value must be positive value. That means here it will not going to be any. Why? Because this is in between 0 and 1. 0 and 1 means zeta square minus 1 value, it will be a negative only. That means if I am taking 0 0.1, 0 0.2, 0 0.3, 0 0.4, any value we can take, this must be this is a negative value only. Negative means here we are getting a j value. That means here zeta is 0 and 1, it will not going to be any change in between 0. That means minus zeta omega n plus or minus, we are going to get some j omega n. This is in this case complex conjugate. The roots are complex conjugate. Complex conjugate. And next fourth one is the row case 4. When zeta is greater than 0, what will be happen? When zeta is greater than 0, when zeta is when zeta is greater than 1, then this we call it as an overdamped system. Overdamped system. What will be happen when it is an overdamped system? Now what is the effect of poles and what is the value it will be affecting zeta 1 and zeta 2? That is an minus zeta omega n plus or minus omega n into zeta square minus 1. What will be happen? First case, here also you need to take in case 1 with positive values. I can take minus zeta omega n plus omega n into this value will be any greater than, that means this is any greater than 1. Greater than 1 means it must be a positive value. That means we are going to get positive value only, right? Here next case, if I am taking negative, that means in a case 2 minus zeta omega n minus, here also we are going to get minus omega n. Even though if you are getting the two roots like this will be a real and distinct. Real and distinct. These are the 4 cases we are having. How it will be going to be an effect on the poles. That means how we are going to indicate on the graph also very important. Now, if I am taking 4 cases, in the next lecture we are going to discuss about the effect of poles. That means an effect of zeta on the poles of a given transfer function or for a given characteristic equation. Just here I am writing how we are going to get the value. First thing we have to know that the transfer function of a second order system. The first thing we have to know that the transfer function of a basic transfer function of a second order system. What is the basic transfer function of a second order system? Omega n square, we just we call it as that is an C of s by R of s. We consider it as an omega n square by s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. This is from that only we are getting all these things. How we are getting? This is in the denominator. What is the order of the s? That is a second. That means 2. The highest power of the system is 2. That we call it as a second order system. For that second order system, we consider from that I consider as a characteristic equation. Characteristic equation means we have to remember characteristic equation is 1 plus g of s into h of s. 1 plus g of s into h of s is equal to 0. That we call it as a characteristic equation. From that characteristic equation, I consider I am getting a zeta 1 and zeta 2. Why I am going to consider zeta 1 and zeta 2? The time response, that means the response of a second order system always will be depends upon the value of zeta. Zeta we call it as a damping ratio. What will be happen? That means what will be happen if the value of zeta will be varies from 0 to 1 or when 0 to 1 or above the 1 value also, right? Finally we are going to get like this, right? Thank you. In the next lecture we discuss about the effect of poles. That means with diagram I am going to explain, right? Thank you.